Y'all all know him as one of the funniest people in Hollywood. He has done Knocked Up, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and Superbad. But he's also a crazy good, talented producer and writer. His new book is a very funny collection of short stories, very funny. It's called Yearbook, and it's out right now. You got to check it out. Give it up for Seth Rogen! Hello, how are you?
Hi, how's it going?
It's going all right. But before we get to anything, I have something to tell you. Judd Apatow told me that, and I want to know if it's true. He told me that it's your fault that people scream my name everywhere I go. Ah, Kelly Clarkson, everywhere I go. I could literally do anything doesn't matter how many hits, what I do in life. I could save a family from drowning, fires. I could do anything. And literally the one thing people know me from is, Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Yes. So is this true?
Well, I'm terribly sorry. First of all, I owe you an apology.
No, it's awesome.
It is true. Yes, that is true. It was. I was a co-producer on the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I was also in it, but it was. I was a writer mostly by trade at the time. So I was hired to write also like jokes. We call them alt jokes or alternate jokes. And we knew Carell was going to be waxed, and he wouldn't be able to think clearly, probably. So we wanted to just be able to feed him things to say. And we don't always like to only have profanity. So Judd was like, you should write a list of jokes that are like dirty jokes, like and a list of clean jokes. And it was hard to write the clean jokes. And I honestly think I was sitting on my couch writing the jokes, and you came on television and I saw you, and it was Kelly Clarkson. And in comedy, there's a thing with like K sounds, like they say like comedy K, like a K sound is known for being funny in the comedy world.
I didn't know that.
And so I saw your name and it was Kelly Clarkson, and there it was. And there's an actual picture
in between
of
burger panties and throbbing monkey tail. I like it.
How much of that list just has to be completely blurred out because it's not. You see, I stuck to the assignment though, really, of doing one half of clean jokes and one half dirty jokes.
Throbbing monkey tail.
Yeah, well,
That's awesome.
thank God people don't scream that at you when you walk around.
I am just saying, I loved it so much. I did actually. I literally was coming into a theater. How I first heard it was in a preview. I was coming into a theater to watch a different movie, and I was with friends. We were late because, you know, I got to hit up concessions for some popcorn and M&Ms. And so we came in a little late, and we were like coming in, and I was like, and everybody was like, and I thought somebody in the theater yelled my name. I didn't know what just happened because I was like, what? And that's how I found out. They were like, they yelled your name in that trailer, and I was like, why? And then I was like, anyway, and it's literally, I can be in Japan. It doesn't matter where the hell I am, Seth. People, since you've been gone, never heard of it. But Kelly Clarkson's name being yelled during a waxing, that's what they know. It's amazing. But speaking of skill, you have a lot of skill. I've seen your pottery. So you're really good at pottery. I've seen your pottery on social media. So when did you start doing that?
Thank you. This is, those are some of my vases. This is a vase I've made as well.
That's so cool.
It's, I started doing it about 2.5 years ago, I guess. My wife, Lauren, is a very talented, incredible woman. And she's done pottery since high school, basically. And she always implored me to try it. And she said she thought I would like it. And we finally took a lesson. And I loved it. I really took to it, and we loved doing it together. It was a really fun activity for us to do with one another.
I love that.
And it's been great. I love it. Thank God, because. Yeah, I mean, who knows how long they'll let me make movies?
You have another trade, Well, I have to ask you this. You said it's an activity I'll do together. Please tell me at some point you've put on Unchained Melody and totally relived the ghost moment.
There are times, never that deliberately. We should do it just so when we're asked that question, we can be like, yes, we do it all the time.
We are sexy people.
That's how we make. That mug you're drinking from right now was made with me shirtless behind Lauren as we manipulate one another's hands.
It's made from love. Well, here's an idea. If Unchained Melody doesn't do the trick, you can always put on a moment like this. I seem to be an inspiration for you. So
You are. You're my muse.
Seth's new book, Yearbook, is out now. What's it about?
It's a collection of stories that I hope are funny for people. That's mostly it. True stories from my life. There's kind of essays, I guess, on subjects as well that not so strictly kind of narrative chapters. But yeah, it's mostly just its pure goal is to be funny and entertaining. And I'm using my own personal experiences to try to write, pieces that people just laugh at and enjoy. You know.
All right, well, you talk about meeting some of your heroes. So is it true that Bob Dylan almost gave you a harmonica? And how does almost happen?
Yeah, I was at the Grammys once years ago, only once. And the Grammys is a crazy award show compared to movie award shows. And musicians lead very incredible lives, completely insulated, it seems, if they want to be. As I'm sure you've seen firsthand on many occasions, if you're a musician, you can make it that you don't interact with one human being you don't want to, which is like pretty crazy, I think. But anyway, I was at the Grammys. And Bob Dylan was there, and he performed, and I actually stole a drink from his dressing room, but I personally didn't see him. But a few months later, I was at a party, and a guy I know came up to me, and he told me, you were at the Grammys this year? And I said, yes. And he goes, I was there too with a friend of mine who actually looks very much like you. And while we were at the Grammys, a security guard came up to him and handed him a harmonica and said that Bob Dylan is a big fan of yours on Howard Stern and wanted you to have this. And I was like, well, can I have the harmonica? And the guy was like, no, my friend has kept the harmonica. So, and I don't know who this person is. I don't know their name. I honestly don't even remember the friend who is the mutual person at this point. But if you are watching this and have the harmonica, please just give me the harmonica.
Well, maybe they're a musician. They don't like talking to people, Seth, so you're never going to see it
exactly. Maybe they're completely insulated from society and will never see this in any way, shape, or form.
You need to go to a country award show, because I did grow up with pop award shows in this industry.
That is probably very different.
Country award shows are very different. Everyone's door is open. They actually share dressing rooms. It's a different experience. Well, you and your writing partner, Evan Goldberg, wrote Superbad. Was that scene with the beer and the laundry detergent bottles from real life?
It was, again, another story I reference in Yearbook is, we noticed when we were around maybe 16 that a lot of bars stored kegs behind the bar. And so one night, and I don't recommend anyone do this, and I am confessing to a crime right now, we went out and stole a keg from behind a restaurant, basically, not knowing that you needed like a pump to operate a keg. We knew nothing. We were children. And we noticed there's like a little pressure ball that kind of keeps the beer in, so we knocked it out with a hammer. And then beer just kind of poured out of it, and we didn't know what to do. So we just kind of filled, my mother had a lot of Tupperware parties. My parents were kind of they didn't throw anything away. We had a lot of empty yogurt containers, detergent containers, things like that. So we kind of just filled up everything we could with beer, and also we couldn't hide a keg anywhere. So we had to get rid of it. So we had to empty the keg into Tupperware and things like that. And then we drank lukewarm beer that had been hidden under our beds in Tupperware and yogurt containers and detergent bottles for the next several weeks. Unrefrigerated, just sitting in these plastic tubs. And the fact that we're still alive is, I guess, a testament to the immune system.
Oh my God. I have got to read this book. You're amazing. Oh my God, it's amazing. You are destined to be creative. I'm going to leave it at that. So have your parents read the book? I mean, speaking of illegal, did they read it and go, what the hell?
Yes. My mother read the book and specifically was like, why do you tell so many stories about doing drugs? That was her biggest note and concern. And truthfully, it made me write a whole part of the book where I talk about why I tell so many stories about doing drugs, because it really made me think, why do I do this? But I don't think she meant it so literally. I think she was more like, why do you do this? But it made me think, really, why do I do this? And so hopefully the book answers that question to some degree as well.
And maybe a therapist. Okay.
Yes.
So wait, your mom tweets a lot as well. I like your cup, by the way. That's a cute little mug.
Thank you, Lauren. Lauren made this.
Did you make? Oh gosh, y'all are talented. Do y'all sell them? Do you have like a place where people can buy them?
No, maybe one day.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, start an Etsy page, Lauren. I'd buy them. So wait, did you see your mama post this? Because this is awesome. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's about the orgasms in Bridgerton.
Yes. So in Bridgerton, they always seem to have their orgasms. Yeah. Yes. My mother, I don't know what to tell you. This is the lens through which she views these shows. I don't watch Bridgerton. That doesn't.
Well,
I don't know if that makes me want to watch it more or less. If I'm being totally honest, it's not something I want to talk to my mother about ever. So it's probably better I don't watch that show just to avoid having that conversation.
I'm just saying. Well, you should tell Lauren to watch it and tell her you're welcome.
Oh, she devoured that. She watched it in one weekend, I think.
Yes. Yeah. You tell her that library scene.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right.
He's very disappointed that guy's not returning for season. That's been a big topic of conversation in our household.
I know. It is such a great show, though. I'm excited to watch it again. Want more fun stuff? I thought so. Check out these videos floating around my head. This one is really cool. I'm just saying. No pressure.